It's December and this is the Library Roadshow. On the show today, food, antiques, and holiday fun. Welcome to the December edition of the Library Roadshow. I'm Mary Stein, and this is a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. Season's readings to all of you. We've made it to December on this year like none other, so let's take a moment. Relax with some great tunes or concerts from Friegel and Quello. Spend some me time reading a great book, either in print or online through Libby. Let an audiobook take you away or flip through some eye candy magazines in print or online. Drop into Beanstack and explore the new holiday challenges and activities with the kids. Pick up grab-and-go bags for all ages, and as a special treat, enjoy the new production of O. Henry's classic story, The Gift of the Magi, presented by Theater Baton Rouge's Young Actors Program. Or tap your feet when Theater Baton Rouge presents Show Tunes Greatest Hits. You can enjoy these virtual programs at your convenience anytime you want and as often as you want during December. The library is even bringing back programming on a limited basis with book clubs, crafting, gardening, the Tuesday Farmers Market at the main library, and even blood drives in December. Find out more in the December edition of The Source, or check out the online calendar at ebrpl.com.
Free access to books, audio, and library resources are just a few of the benefits available to you when you get a library card. Need free access to a computer? You get that. Want free access to premium digital resources like Mango Languages and lynda.com? You get that. Need to book a meeting space? You get that. Heck, you can even check out a telescope or use a digital printer with your library card. If you live in East Baton Rouge Parish, pick up your free library card from your local branch library today. Premium access to everything the library system has to offer is waiting for you.
For every kind of service or resource that the library offers in the real world, we also try to offer something to parallel it in the digital library. Cookbooks and magazines filled with food are a staple in the library's circulating collection, but they can go virtual too. Now, here in Louisiana, our memories and feelings about the holidays are pretty much centered around what happens at the dinner table, but we're not alone. The library's got something delicious to share. Adam St. Pierre joins us now to explain in the digital download.
Do you enjoy cooking? Learning about culinary arts and the history of food in America? Then you need to check out the library's newest resource for food, A to Z Food America. A to Z Food America contains recipes in all course categories from all 50 states and 33 ethnic cuisines. You can begin your journey into America's food cultures by browsing by state, by region, ethnic group, or by ingredient. Then you can learn more in articles on classic foods, state foods, top agricultural products, special occasion foods, ethnic and geographic influences, and even food trivia. And it's all available at that low price of free with your library card. To check out A to Z Food America, head over to the digital library page at ebrpl.com.
Thanks, Adam. Food is such an important part of our local culture. It's neat to sample traditions from around the country and even around the world with A to Z World Food. We're so into food that we've started a new series on social media called What Ya Cookin' Wednesday. Each Wednesday, staff will share the results of a recipe taken from the library's cookbook collection. Maybe that'll inspire you to break out your pots and pans. And if that doesn't do it, why not catch the replay on YouTube of Chef Jay Ducote when he stirs the pot? And on a food-related note, don't forget that December is Food for Fines Month. We'll waive $1 off your fines account for every non-perishable food item you bring into the library all month. All items benefit the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank.
Well, things are slowly getting back to normal here with one of our first in-person programs. We're at the main library at Goodwood for the 20th annual Attic Treasures and Collectibles event, where people can bring their antiques and have them evaluated by experts. Let's check it out.
My name is Stephen Holbrook. I'm a librarian too here. and we're doing Attic Treasures today. It's the 20th anniversary of it. Attic Treasures is kind of like Antique Roadshow. We have specials come from around the area, and people can bring in up to 3 items at a time, and they appraise their items. So we have a few different kinds. We have a guy who does armaments. We have somebody who does jewelry and beads.
My name is Jane Olson Phillips. I've been an appraiser with the library since they started this program 20-some years. I'd like to help out the program. We've had all kinds of interesting things. A lot of Indian jewelry, American Indian jewelry. We've had some wonderful African stuff, some old African trade beads, a big variety of the pieces.
We have somebody who does just kind of 2 people who do just general antiques, somebody who does vintage silver, somebody who does vintage toys, somebody who does paper items, stamps, that kind of thing.
It's a wonderful opportunity for people to come in and bring the odd pieces they might have that they just don't know about. Perhaps they might be a little afraid to go to an antique dealer with them, but this gives them an open opportunity to come in and bring their things and see what other people are bringing, and easy to do.
We host this here because history is a big deal for us at the library. We have the Baton Rouge room here, we have the genealogy room here. We always get a kick out of history coming alive.
Wow, patrons brought in some really cool stuff. To find out what's coming up next, pick up a copy of our monthly newsletter, The Source, or visit us online at www.ebrpl.com.
Thanks, Kayla. This is always one of my favorite events of the year. I love to see what people bring in. And it's so important to hear how to care for our collectibles from our local experts. Don't forget that you can keep that treasure hunt going by exploring P4A Antiques, also known as Prices for Antiques database. You can search by type of object, brand name, keyword, even the year. Each search shows you a photo of the object so that you can compare it to your own item, and that's especially helpful. And then it will list the price or price range for the item at auction. Check it out. All you need is that library card. Stay right there. After the break, Jessica McDaniel joins me for a chat right here on the Library Roadshow.
I'm Zoe Kravitz from Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Books are magical, and reading can transform your life. Libraries make sure people of all backgrounds can experience the wonder of literature through literacy programs and access to media. Spread the magic by supporting your library.
All her heart, and shall I worry?
You're watching the December edition of the Library Roadshow. Everything you need to know about your local library system. Now, ever since March, when words like COVID and pandemic became part of our daily vocabulary, the library staff turned their attention to how we could deliver some of the same programs and services that our patrons were used to enjoying, but in new and distant ways. As our community programming librarian, Jessica McDaniel had to basically take a crash course in virtual programming and get right to work, but it's really paid off. Okay, Jessica, since in-person programming has pretty much drawn to a standstill, how and where did we start meeting folks online for interesting programs?
Well, Mary, we've been doing virtual programming for a while. We've been doing Monday night bedtime stories with the children's department.
Years.
Things like that, but we really started getting into the live programming. We've been live streaming on Facebook and YouTube Live. We put our toe in the water with an author talk with Gail Carriger this summer, but then we really just hit the pavement with the Mid-City Microcon back in August.
Well, you had to completely retool that program because it was supposed to be in person and talking to people up close and personal. And instead, we had panels, people basically remoting in from all over.
Yeah, so on one hand, we didn't get that benefit of having all of our graphic novel and comic book creators to come to the library and meet our patrons face to face, but we were also able to reach a lot of authors that wouldn't have been able to travel, especially during COVID, so that we were able to live Zoom them in and live stream them on YouTube so that everyone can enjoy their perspectives and their viewpoints on representation in comics.
And then, of course, the cool thing there is the convenience factor, because if you couldn't have made it that day, it's still there for you. You can open up your computer, your cell phone, your device, and watch anytime.
That's right.
I love that. So is it as easy as point and shoot with a cell phone? Because that's how our first one with Gail Carriger was. It was kind of like giant selfie stick program.
It can be. We've been making it a little bit more complex as we've been getting along and playing with the new technology. That's really fun. The technology's not going to go away. Hopefully, when this pandemic starts to calm down, we'll be able to get more in-person programming. But with all this new technology, we're actually kind of having fun exploring the different ways to use very complex machinery and maker spaces, as well as just the point and shoot using your smartphone.
Right. So what are some of these challenges? Because technology, we've got to love it, but still.
Well, one challenge it took us a minute. During the Mid-City Microcon, we zoomed in a lot of authors who were all over the country.
Right.
So one challenge that we never really had to think about before too often was time zones.
Oh, sure.
We have to make sure that we're coordinating.
No, we're all on the same page.
Yes, we had to coordinate to make sure everybody's time was coming in at the same time. Another thing, we want to make sure we have good lighting and the camera angles are great, because we're recording it and we want to see it later.
No one wants to look up your nose.
Exactly.
I've seen a lot of that.
Well, and everybody's been pretty good about that. We haven't really had to instruct it because we're in a COVID world right now. Everybody is already used to video conferencing. They know what
Our
they're
children are teaching us about that. So what are some of the programs that we've posted? You mentioned the Microcon, you mentioned Gail Carriger, but there have been some other wonderful programs that have really gotten legs.
Yeah, so of course we have the Mid-City Microcon. We recently had the Baton Rouge Mini Maker Fair.
Yeah.
And that was a grand production, and we really enjoyed that one.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have a bunch of smaller ones with authors. So we have Gail Carriger, we have Libby Copeland, who wrote The Lost
The DNA
Family.
program, right.
That's right. Jay Ducote,
Chef Jay.
We stirred the pot, and he had a live cooking demonstration while he talked about his new cookbook. We had Dr. Stephen Andes of LSU. He wrote a book.
Zorro.
That's right.
The first American superhero.
Yeah, and then of course we can't forget our Garden Discoveries series.
Oh, that's marvelous, because Baton Rouge, one of the big hobbies here that we know stayed current, and it is even exploded because of COVID with people at home, is gardening. Mm-hmm. And I know from years on the reference desk, a gardening book about roses in Boston does not matter to people in Baton Rouge. They want to hear from local growers, local gardeners, and that's what we've got with the Botanic Garden Foundation's Garden Discoveries.
Yes, they've been doing a great job of putting together these wonderful programs, teaming up with us to make sure that our patrons can see it. Recently, we did a program with Peregrine's Joel Franklin.
Franklin, right.
Where he spoke about using natural materials in holiday decorating. Mm-hmm. And of course, we've done butterfly programming.
I was at that one. We did that one as a hybrid. A few people in the audience and many more online. And we went even out into the garden next to the main library. It was marvelous because there we were. And the butterflies were like dive bombing us. They were strafing the camera while we were shooting. It was really cool. Now, if people missed it, for example, somebody was like, "Oh, butterfly gardening, I want to watch that." Where do they go see it?
Well, they can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/EBRP Library TV.
Well, that's pretty easy.
Yes, as well as the our Facebook page. So the East Baton Rouge Parish Library's Facebook page has the recordings of those live streams that we've done through there. So it's facebook.com/EBRPL.
And that's a lot of stuff to remember, but if you just go to our homepage and look at the very bottom, there's a big F for Facebook. And there's a big Y for YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Or
a little play symbol.
Little TV. All right. So I must say I really like the idea of the hybrid programs going forward. And as you mentioned, going forward, we're not going to drop this because of the convenience factor and the fact that if you just couldn't come to that event, or you couldn't drive in, it's there for you, safe for you, and you can watch it at your convenience. And sometimes you can re-watch it, especially with the kids programs, because if they like something, you're going to hear it, and you're going to see it, and you're going to see it again. Thanks, Jessica. I really like the fact that so many of our programs are airing on YouTube, since you don't have to join any digital platform at all to view them. And we're adding a whole page called In Case You Missed It to the December newsletter to remind folks of how easy it is to go back and catch something that you've missed. The numbers of views really tell us that you want us to continue. After the break, Janice Lamy. Plus, we have book reviews from one of our younger patrons. All that and more coming up next on the Library Roadshow.
Does she love me with all her heart? And shall I worry?
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Welcome back to the December edition of the Library Roadshow. Janice Lamy is an accomplished marketing professional with a passion for mentoring young professionals. Janice is keenly interested in positively impacting a generation of women by providing career success guidance through her books and online resources. Her book's entitled Create Your Success Plan, and Janice joins me now by phone. Janice, introduce yourself and tell us how you got started as an author.
Hi, I'm Janice Lamy, and honestly, I never dreamt of writing a book. It was not on my radar at all. But I kept getting this message that I needed to be doing something more, not something different, but something more. Then one day, the idea of writing a book just popped into my mind, and it was as if the contents just poured through me onto the page. Then I learned how to get my book published on Amazon. It went really quickly and seemed effortless.
What's this book about?
My book, Creating Your Success Plan, guides women to develop a strategic plan for their career. It's a step-by-step process that starts with identifying your core values, creating a series of goals to get you where you want to go with your career, and finally establishing an intentional personal marketing plan that will position you for success. And the great thing about the marketing plan is that you'll identify tactics and actions you could begin taking today to make you stand out among your peers and become a rising star at work. It's something most of us never think of doing, even though many of us have written strategic plans for our business or for our employers many times. Why not do the same thing for yourself? My book helps make the process simple.
Janice, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, that something more message I spoke about earlier led me to think deeply about what I enjoy most. And what came up for me was mentoring others, specifically women, regarding how to be successful in their professional lives. I've done it many times throughout my career and got a lot out of it myself. I'm also convinced that the only people who can address the disparities between women and men in leadership roles is us, women, one by one. And I think we can all agree that we need more women leaders in this world, right? Right. So I thought, how can I make an impact in that regard on a larger scale and help more women? The book was the answer.
What do you hope readers will take away from your book?
Well, first of all, obviously, I hope they'll create a success plan for themselves. The process isn't easy, but going through it will give women more focus than they've probably ever had in their professional lives. And it will very likely help them learn things about themselves they weren't aware of in the past. Oh, and by the way, I offer personal coaching sessions to help women as they work through it. It can be somewhat daunting to think about where you want to be in 5 to 10 years, much less what you need to do to get there. Now, the second half of the book provides a series of success tips and guidance to help women navigate their careers more effectively. I cover how to attract success into your life, why lifelong learning is vitally important to your career, how to network effectively and why it's also important, balancing your life along the way, and recognizing shifts in your professional life as you move from learning to managing, then leading, and finally mentoring. I hope readers will incorporate these tips into their daily thoughts, and this helps them reach the pinnacle of success they're dreaming of.
Janice, how can our viewers learn more about you?
Oh, thanks for asking. Viewers can visit my website at creatingyoursuccessplan.com. Now, on the site, they can learn a bit more about me and why I created the Success Plan system. They can access the book, which is available in paperback, ebook, and audio formats, and learn about the online course I created to accompany the book. The course includes 16 modules and 2 coaching sessions with me to help women with the whole process. They can also join the Success Tribe online community and get to know like-minded women, access tribe-only content, and join virtual group coaching calls. And there are individual coaching packages to choose from as well. I'm also available for speaking engagements and small group workshops. All that information can be found on the website. Thanks so much for this time with your viewers. I've really enjoyed it.
Thanks for sharing your tips and path to success, Janice. It's never too late to get started. It's now time in the show where we'd like to check in with one of our younger patrons to find out what they're reading at the library.
Hi, my name is Lena. I'm 6 years old, and my favorite book is Dragons Love Tacos. Dragons Love Tacos is about the boy. The boy is going to throw a taco party, but there's a little problem with that because dragons hate spicy tacos, but if he feeds them even a little bit of spicy salsa, they'll breathe out fire. My mommy takes me to the library. When I come to the library, I like to read books and play on the computers.
Thanks, Lena. We love seeing our youngest patrons in the community make good use of the library system. Stay right there. You're watching the Library Roadshow.
As the nation's doctor, I often get asked, what should I do if I think I might have coronavirus?
People who are sick should stay home. You don't go to an emergency room, you don't go to a clinic. You get on the phone and you ask for advice and instructions from your physician.
We don't want you to go into the ER or the doctor's office without talking to them first because you might spread coronavirus to someone else. Please visit coronavirus.gov for more information.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
During the holidays, so many people really focus on family, and whether you're celebrating together around the table, hanging out in the backyard, or zooming in virtually, don't forget to spend a few minutes adding the leaves to your family tree. Take this opportunity to listen to family stories, jot down the names of those folks in the old black and white photos, and then call or visit our genealogy librarians in the Baton Rouge room. In addition to great resources like Heritage Quest and Fold3, they've secured remote access to Ancestry.com through the end of the month. They can even help you get started researching and documenting your own family story. It's all available at the main library on Goodwood, and it's free with your East Baton Rouge Parish Library card.
My name is Ann Novak, and I am a certified career coach and resume writer and the head of the Career Center, located inside the main library on Goodwood. The Career Center is a service of the East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. Since working from home is the name of the game at the moment, I want to introduce you to our 4 favorite websites that help you find safe and legitimate work from home or remote opportunities. Number 1, RedRaceRebellion.com. It is one of the oldest websites dedicated to finding safe remote jobs and still one of the best. It gives you a good overview of all different kinds of remote jobs available, from high-level specialist and manager roles to taking surveys, mystery shopping, and everything in between. Number 2, remoteplanet.io. Remote Planet is an entire community for people who want to lead a location-independent or digital nomad lifestyle, while it features job boards and links to many companies who mainly work remotely. It also contains lots of information on tax issues and other special topics relating to a remote lifestyle. For me, one of its prime assets is that it exposes you to a lot of small, remotely operating companies that might be hard to find otherwise. Number 3 is flexjobs.com. FlexJobs is probably the most well-known flexible work job board. It has had a lot of national media exposure. 2 words of caution about FlexJobs. It does not only feature remote opportunities, but has a lot of part-time and project-based jobs that are actually tied to a specific location. And it charges you a fee. So before you pay, make sure that they have jobs that are a good fit for you. Check out our FlexJobs video on our YouTube channel to see how you can research their open jobs before you pay. Number 4 is powertofly.com. Again, this is much more than just a job board. It is an online community led by women and mainly created for women. Powertofly.com strongly focuses on diversity and inclusion. Besides featuring jobs and linking to companies' job openings, it also features virtual events such as live chats, webinars about career and job search related topics, panel discussions, and virtual job fairs. If you are a job seeker and you like this information, go and check out careercenterbr.com for more free resources and support to help you succeed in your career.
The library's Career Center is open Monday through Saturday at the main library at Goodwood. They've also pushed out a number of really helpful videos on everything from job search basics, references, email etiquette, and how to make your resume more relevant to applicant tracking software. Find them at careercenterbr.com/YouTube. And now for today's contest. Visit the library's Facebook page at facebook.com/ebrpl. Show off your culinary creations and share where that recipe came from. That's facebook.com/ebrpl. And while you're there, enjoy. We're not your grandfather's library anymore. Now, what's coming up on the Library Roadshow in January? Well, we'd like to put 2020 behind us and look forward to a bright new year.
Coming up next month, I'll share another digital resource with you.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Library Roadshow. And remember, your East Baton Rouge Parish Library is open 7 days a week at each and every one of 14 branches, plus 24/7 on the web. Check us out at ebrpl.com.
And that's how I roll.